So expensive to buy everything these days.
I'm broke.
I'm dead.
Like, it's just getting a little crazy or ridiculous.
I think it's logical that the prices are up. I think it makes sense.
Recession is coming for sure.
Because nothing will be cheaper than now, that's for sure.
It's okay. Doesn't hurt my company. We're okay. We're just making babies in the pandemic.
Yeah.
Hey guys, Isabelle Rivoche for Rebel News. I'm here on the boardwalk in Toronto, Ontario. It's a beautiful Saturday. There's tons of people out. Today I want to go around and ask people what they think of the rising cost of living these days, how food and gas is just so expensive. Here is a chart from Statistics Canada showing the rise of inflation from July 2021 and onwards. You can see that it's risen drastically, and if this trend continues, it will no longer be possible to live affordably in Canada.
You'll forgive me if I don't think about monetary policy.
I want to know how Canadians are handling this inflation and if they are concerned about the future economy. And I especially want to know young people's point of view because it will be affecting their future the most. So let's go and talk to some people and see what they think. What do you think about the rising costs of food and fuel and just the cost of living in general?
Fuel, yes, I'm dead.
As a student, it's really hard considering tuition prices. It's really stressful, and it's like a lot added on to like academic stress as well.
Gas is crazy right now. I can't even hold you. A full tank, it's like $120 right now, and it has been dipping a little bit, but it's still like way too crazy.
Like, it's just getting a little crazy or ridiculous.
Well, neither of us drive, so the gas prices doesn't affect us personally, but it definitely affects my boyfriend. I know it's affected him, and he's definitely had to rely on his parents a little more as far as food.
So expensive to buy everything these days. It's crazy.
I don't drive, so it's not really affecting me.
Well, damn, everything's expensive right now, and I don't know what to do about it. But you gotta live, you gotta hustle, you gotta get what get done what need be done. And I don't think it should stop people's motivation from finding the best opportunities for themselves. But yeah, it's affecting everyone, of course.
I would say yes, but right now we're still living at home. We're in school doing our masters, so we still live at home. So we're not on our own yet to pay those bills.
Oh, absolutely. I'm broke. Inflation, rent is rising, food is rising, fuel. I got nothing to spend.
When you go to the grocery store, do you notice the prices being different?
Yes, you definitely feel that.
Yeah, it's expensive.
All to do with inflation and also the supply chain issues.
Turns out that it is a lot easier to shut down the world economy than to open it back up. And we are opening it back up. That is great. But there is some unevenness, there are some hiccups, there are supply chain issues.
Especially about the rents and everything, like cost of housing and everything.
Yeah, the gas especially. The gas especially it raised up pretty badly.
It did to a degree, of course, but we are incredibly lucky that we can afford it. Partly I don't mind, actually, because I think some of the gasoline prices, I think it's logical that the prices are up. I think it makes sense.
How come? Why do you say that?
Because of COVID, they gave so much money to people, so somebody has to pay for it.
How has it affected your personal life?
When I bought the car, it was under 90 cents, but now I'm almost paying $2.
I really have to manage my money even more than I had to before.
We're just talking about this, just in terms of coming downtown or living versus living downtown. We know it's very hard to find a place. There's a lot of bidding wars happening.
Cut down on so many things. Yeah. Because even though you make a decent salary, you can't afford to live.
No, I think in general it's affected everyone. Food costs, you're more aware of what you're buying, fresh vegetables and fruit, and where you're spending your discretionary income, I guess.
It's okay, it's still okay.
Not much.
What we think about another 5?
Our kids, of course, they feel it.
Yes, they do.
They're 30 plus.
Yes, it's affected us. I think it's a little bit difficult to live, not just for the rental price, everything. I got shocked sometimes when I go to shopping and see the bill is almost twice than before. And also about the fuel. Before the prices jump up, filled my tank for $50. Now I have to pay $110.
We still need to continue our life, right? Everything is expensive. Everything.
Have you had to make any personal choices, like cutting back on driving or buying less food?
We want to cut on driving, but what could we do? If you're working, you need your car, you need everything, so you need to spend.
I don't go out to restaurants as much, which isn't a hardship, but I think that's part of the COVID experience anyway.
Not so much, because means we're in a good position, but probably soon because I'm on mat leave now. So yeah, probably actually.
And living more frugally, I guess, you know.
For example, before we were able to go for hiking almost every weekend to Algonquin Park or any like culinary park, but now it's like a bit challenging.
If it's worth it or no.
Cutting down on everything, like food and everything else.
I try to work more to adjust with the payment. I increase my work hours because I couldn't change my level of style of living for me and my family.
I have to think about driving less.
I guess I just don't go out and do crazy things like we go for a walk now, and this is nice and cheap, right? Yeah, save a pretty penny there.
Being a little bit more frugal, you know, not taking so many Ubers, right? And then just spending time, like, you know, staying in, not going out so much. I mean, you can go to a bar, like, drinks used to be like $8, $10. Now you can really go out for a night, you know, you spend a couple drinks, take a girl out, you're spending like $160, and then you're like, whoa.
So where do you see this heading?
I hope it goes down in the future. This may be a temporary, so let's see how it goes. I hope for the best for Canada.
Right now it's pretty high and it's gonna be stable here even though like global crisis like war situation gets settled, but I think the price of fuel will be the same more or less.
I can't see it coming down because I don't know.
What do you think the future will look like?
Keep rising, probably.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
I don't know really. I don't have any idea about that. I hope that everything change back to the normal.
See, that's not like where my specialties are at. I don't know if it's gonna keep going up, and if it does, I don't know what we can even do to change that, you know? So it's like, let's keep on living like frugally. It's doing our best, you know? It's not gonna last forever.
Nothing becomes cheaper, I think. Everything just grow. The price is growing.
Recession is coming for sure. Entire world is affected.
You know, there's inflation everywhere.
I think when it comes to inflation, the really important starting point is for us to all appreciate, as I know you do, that this is not a uniquely Canadian phenomenon.
Like our minimum wages might start to go up and then other things will continually go up. In terms of gas prices though, I think that will go on the decline soon with like the war and everything that's happening. Hopefully we tap into our own resources and use our own resources. We don't just like sell it all out.
I like to think positive and think that things will become better. I feel like that's what keeps everybody going at the end of the day.
I don't know. I'm not too privy on you know, economics, but I definitely think everything will adjust once, you know, the ups and downs finish up. But with the like low house prices and everything, I think like people should obviously take advantage if they can. But I don't know. I don't know what the future holds.
I'm not too sure. I feel like it will probably go up a little more for a while and then kind of plateau or become stagnant for quite some time, and then hopefully wages kind of catch up with the cost of living, because it wouldn't be sustainable, in my opinion.
But I mean, at the same time, if you look at where we were like 5 years ago, we just kind of adjust. We're going to get used to seeing $2 gas and say, oh, look, it's cheap.
That's true.
Keep rising because inflation's gone up, so it's going to go up to 8%. So the cost will continue to rise, and it's up to the central bank to do something about it, which is what they're trying to do with increasing the interest rates.
Probably getting worse.
Gas prices have been dropping though.
Have they?
They have. It's okay. Doesn't hurt my company. We're okay. We're just making babies in the pandemic.
Yeah.
We look at the future of the global economy with great concerns. Too high inflation, too low growth, too many debts. But what is particularly worrisome are the consequences, such as falling back of hundreds of millions of people again into poverty and possibly tens of millions of people dying of hunger.
Probably it's going to rise for another while, and afterwards we'll hit probably something like a downturn of the economy, which will fix it, but people may lose their jobs and things like that.
But what really bothers us is what happens when we stop working. Another 5-6 years, and that's it. And then will be a problem. Because nothing will be cheaper than now, that's for sure.
Based on what it's looking like, I'm not seeing it getting any better.
It's gonna keep rising, I think so. It doesn't seem like there's something to like stop it, you know?
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what the solution is.
The only way to like make it feasible for us to, you know, go through this time is if the government makes it easy on us, you know, by paying us more, giving us benefits that we didn't have before.
Do you think it will help if they print more and more money, or do you think that will add to the issue?
I don't have too much knowledge on that.
Yeah. No comment.
There's definitely just been like poor choices. I think they definitely have to take measures to mitigate the inflation. There definitely needs to be something done. I don't know what it is. And printing more money, I don't think that's it.
I think people needed to get money at that time. Nobody knew what's going to happen. Right? And COVID at that time was incredibly dangerous and people were dying. So of course they needed money.
So I talked to a lot of different people today. The majority of them did say that the cost of living being so high has affected their life and they've had to make adjustments. The consensus is that this issue is not going away anytime soon, so who knows what the future holds, what the coming months will look like with the rising cost of living. For Rebel News, I'm Isabelle Rivoche. So it's a very nice summer day here in Toronto. People are very relaxed, but it's not so relaxed in the Netherlands right now. The Dutch farmers are protesting against their government. So if you'd like to follow our coverage, please go to farmerrebellion.com.